A cruise ship passenger arrested after allegedly attacking two children. A gangway goes for a swim at Coco Key, and shattered glass aboard Royal Caribbean's brand new Legends of the Sea. Yeah, it's been a week. Welcome to What the Duck News. My name is Shane Austin, founder of mapboundtravel.com, and welcome to the channel. Starting off with definite What the Duck moment aboard Carnival Glory. A passenger was arrested after allegedly striking two children who were playing in a hallway. Authorities say the man was heavily intoxicated at the time. Thankfully, this ended with an arrest, but seriously, what a quack job. Over at Perfect Day at Coco Key, apparently it wasn't just the passengers going for a swim. As Wonders of the Sea was departing, one of the ship's gangways ended up falling into the water. The incident was caught on video by passengers on another ship. No injuries were reported, but that's certainly one way to leave your gangway behind. What the duck, Royal Caribbean? And Royal Caribbean's brand new Legends of the Sea is already having a little drama. A glass panel shattered inside the ship's aquadome, sending pieces of glass below. Fortunately, reports indicate no one was injured. The ship wasn't even officially in regular passenger service yet, so hopefully that's one problem they can get sorted out quickly. MSC Cruises has revealed more details about Catalina Sugar Beach. Its new destination on Catalina Island in the Dominican Republic is expected to open in November 2026 and will offer MSC guests a new beach experience in the Caribbean. And unlike our first three stories, absolutely nothing fell in the ocean or got punched. So we're making progress. And finally, Disney Cruise Line is speeding up its fleet expansion. Disney now plans to introduce 3 additional ships in 2029, bringing the cruise line closer to its previously announced goal of 13-ship fleet. Disney has been expanding incredibly fast, so we're going to be seeing a lot more Disney ships over the next few years. One thing you should know, when you're comparing cruise prices, don't just compare the advertised fare, compare what the entire cruise is actually going to cost you. One cruise might look $300 or $400 cheaper, but then you start adding everything in, a drink package, Wi-Fi, specialty dining, gratuities, and suddenly that cheaper cruise is not cheap anymore. Some cruise lines offer fares that include several of those extras already. You might even find a promotion that gives you hundreds of dollars in onboard credit, which you can use towards things you were going to buy anyway. So before you book, figure out what you actually want on your vacation, then add those things to each cruise you're considering, and compare the final price. Because sometimes the cruise with the higher fare can actually be the better deal, simply because you're getting so much more for your money. And that's something an advertised cruise price doesn't always tell you. So don't shop for the cheapest cruise, shop for the best value for you. And now it's time for your cruise tip of the week. Always download the cruise line app before you get to the terminal. You may need it for check-in, dining reservation, you can look at the schedules. A lot of times you can message people you're with at no extra cost, and it can help you out with the mustard station process. And moving on to the question of the week. This week's question comes from Penguin Wrangler 1012. My wife and I are going on an Alaskan cruise later this year for our 10-year anniversary. Congrats. We are going on a Princess Cruise Line, and this is our first cruise. We went all out and got the highest package because we wanted to splurge, and it said gratuities were included. Should we still tip, and how much if we should? Now, yes, gratuities may be included, but the reason I like to tip a little extra, especially at the beginning of the cruise, is that I've found the crew tends to be even more attentive and accommodating. For me, the little bit of extra can make already a great vacation even better, so I usually give my cabin steward about $10 per person. Now, $5 of that I give them to the steward the first time we meet. And then at dinner, I'll give about $20, split between my server and my assistant server. And I'll also tip a couple dollars to the bartender at the bar that I think I'll be going to the most on that cruise. And here's something else that's important. If your gratuities are already included in the Princess package, you don't need to feel guilty if you don't hand out additional cash. You've already paid your gratuities, and anything I just described is what I personally choose to do. It's extra. It's not something you're expected to do, and for your first cruise, especially since you're celebrating your 10th anniversary in Alaska, don't spend your vacation worrying about whether you're tipping everybody enough. Enjoy the cruise. Now let's get into our cruise deal of the week. This week, we're looking at the Margaritaville Islander. Sailing September 19, 2026, it's a 7-night cruise out of Tampa with ports including Cozumel, Mexico, Ocho Rios in Jamaica, and Georgetown, Grand Cayman. At only $309, this deal is amazing. That's just under $45 per night, with your lodging, your food, and your entertainment all included. That is way cheaper than a hotel where you might get nothing more than a complimentary breakfast. You're getting 3 Caribbean ports on a 7-night sailing, including Grand Cayman, which isn't always included in these shorter Florida itineraries. And if you'd like some help planning your next cruise, I am a travel agent. Just scan the QR code on screen or check out the link in the description, and I'd be happy to help you. Now, I always like to end with the Duck News on something positive. This week, the Zac Brown Band surprised more than 37,000 fans at Fenway Park by giving every single one of them a free cruise for two. With Margaritaville at the sea, the giveaway was worth more than $40 million, and they announced it right before performing one of their songs, Same Boat. Now, that is one heck of a concert souvenir I would love. And that's your positive cruise news of the week. If you enjoyed this week's show, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on next week's What the Duck News, cruise deals, tips, and everything happening in the cruise world. I'm Shane Austin with Mapbound, and remember, travel is life.